Thank you, Madam Speaker. As we all know, it's campaign season now. We're all making the rounds, going to town halls, going to fish fries, going to events across our districts. And I'm not sure when the last time any of y'all heard the statement, constituent come up and grab you and say, y'all really need to regulate lawsuit lending entities. If y'all have heard that, I'm surprised because I have never heard that. I'm flummoxed that we have such a pressing need to regulate this industry because it's been in existence for quite a while. There was a statement made last week when we were debating this bill about recourse, about what's the recourse for this individual who, if they have a disagreement with the company that has given them these assets to be repaid at a later date, possibly. The recourse is the same with every other contract dispute that occurs in this state. You have recourse in the courts. The way this works is if you're a defendant in a lawsuit, you need money to survive till that lawsuit is resolved, either through settlement or after a trial. The companies that participate in this line of business advance you that money. If that lawsuit is resolved in your favor and there are assets to be used to pay back that company, they can. If there is a dispute, that money is being held by your lawyer in their trust fund until that dispute is resolved. We pass consumer protection laws up here to protect people who are out there, poor people who don't have a lawyer, who don't have counsel to advise them on what's a good thing to do and what's a bad thing to do. In every case, every one of these issues where a individual is entering into one of these contracts and taking these assets with the promise to pay them back, they have a lawyer who can review that contract, can advise them specifically. Both sides are represented. They can review the contract and the details of the transaction thoroughly and make an informed decision. I don't know how government, a bureaucrat in Nashville regulating an industry, is going to provide better protection than counsel on both sides advising their client on the best course of action to take, and then that client making an informed decision based on the advice of counsel on both sides. We can't do a better job than that at regulating, folks. The substance of this bill has not changed. We heard testimony and questions and answers and statements on this issue at length last week, and we're going to hear some more today. The position has not changed. The intent of this legislation has not changed regardless of the amendment. The intention of this bill and the effect of this bill is not to help poor people. It is to hurt poor people who are in a bind, who have a lawsuit that may be settled 2 or 3 years from now, who need money now to pay their bills now. This bill is an attempt by those who benefit from having poor, desperate people on the other side of a lawsuit, those who benefit from that. This is an attempt to keep those people desperate, because when they're desperate, they will settle for less. That's what this bill is for. That's what this bill does. I despise it. I have brought significant legislation in the last several years to make our civil justice system more fair. What made both sides equal, what made both sides have a fair shot, a fair shake. This bill is an attempt to skew the playing field, to keep folks desperate so that they will settle for less than they are entitled to. That is the intent of this bill. That is the purpose of this bill. Keep poor people desperate. Keep more money in the pockets of the insurance companies. If I can't encourage you more strongly than I already have, please vote against this. Please tell these folks that we're not here to put an industry out of business and we're not here to hurt poor people. And I appreciate your consideration.